access and blah, blah, blah. However, darling, right now, I believe you can actually request a new superpower once per day with channel points, so... And I can tell you, there's a lot of superpowers. There's a lot of superpowers, and there's a lot of superpowers plus mythical boons. There's also mythical boons in there as well. So like one of my favorite mythical boons is free parking on Venus. Yeah, fair point. That's part of the reason I'm using it. I figure I can add ceramic inserts and nylon silk to effectively make it bulletproof. Sure. That seems like it would make it heavy, though. Ads. I know there's ads. So, hump day. Am I right, peeps? I don't know if I'm right. I don't know if I'm right. I'm ace. I've got no idea what days people like to hump on. Do people like to hump on Wednesdays? Is that the important thing, or is Wednesday all about camels? Is Wednesday about camels? Does that mean the camels with the 2 humps, they represent a fortnight? Guys, I think I've uncovered a conspiracy here. What do you think? Is this revealed knowledge? I don't think I've ever seen a camel fursona in the fandom. Huh. Oh my god, could you imagine a camel fursona with those giant eyelashes? Oh. Conspiracy theory about camels. Yeah! If Wednesday's hump day, and there's 2 sorts of camels, ones that have 1 hump and ones that have 2 humps, does that mean the ones that only have 1 humps? So if camels, hey, Nightmare Foul Play. Okay, ads are done. There's only 5 months. What's me month? I can't stop Twitch from playing adverts. Literally, only you can stop Twitch from playing adverts. But no, so if, okay, but I took Monday and Tuesday off for my birthday, so that's mean tomorrow is hump day. No, I guess, yeah, it would do, wouldn't it? Because, like, yeah, there'd be 3 rather than, yeah. But no. So if Wednesday is hump day, if Wednesday is hump day, and camels have either 1 or 2 humps, does that mean the camels with a single hump are 1 week, and the camels with 2 humps are a fortnight? Think about it. They said before I let the ad, I missed your response. Yeah, I don't see why it would make it bulletproof. That just seems like a way of making it heavier, more awkward, and harder to access, as it were. There'd be more stuff in the way of you actually accessing the electronics and blah, blah, blah. However, it's cool for, like, geek points, I guess. Wait. What if this revelation about camels and days of the week actually goes all the way back to the tobacco industry? Think about it. Some of the earliest tobacco ads were camels. Had camels in them. So maybe that proves that they knew that only 1 week or 2 weeks you would get addicted to it. And like it's 1 week for people who have 1 hump, i.e. a hanging, i.e. a schlong, and 2 weeks for women who have 2 humps to get addicted, and therefore they had to make sure all of the men smoked cigarettes before women because they get addicted quicker. With 2 humps, yeah. Think about it, think about it. The conspiracy goes so deep. What if Big Tobacco finds out that I'm uncovering its truths? Am I at risk? Am I at risk now? Where's the pin I was just using? Where's the oh, there it is. Cool. Right. Oh no, that's the one I was using yesterday because it's got yellow thread in it. Okay, I have no idea where the needle I was just using went. That would be a lucky strike for the tobacco industry. No, Kinkaze, no. Ah. Oh dear. Anyway, Kinkaze, I don't know how to filter your puns. Rogue Alpha, hello! Thanks for rolling in, Rogue Alpha. It's Wednesday, my dudes. It's hump day! It's hump day, so if this is your second hump day, if this is the second hump day in a row, you are technically a fortnight camel. There you go, isn't that cool? That's something for you all to know? That's what we figured out, that's what we figured out. Figured out the conspiracy goes deep. Why? Rogue Alpha. Because Wednesday is called Hump Day. Wednesday's called Hump Day, and there are camels who have 1 and 2 humps. Therefore, camels with 1 hump represent a week, and camels with 2 humps represent a fortnight. Therefore, if you've had 2 hump days in a row, you're representing a fortnight, and technically, you're harder to addict to cigarettes, according to the Camel brand spokespersons. It's true. This is how it works. I think my brain just died. See, darling, that's the first step to opening your mind. Letting all the stuff that is currently in your mind out. But also, darling Violet, if grey aliens come down and attempt to probe your brain through any of your orifices, you now know the aliens cannot probe you. You have a superpower. I have granted you a superpower to mean that aliens cannot probe you, and that is a guarantee. So even if your brain is currently dying, you know for a fact now that aliens will not be able to come and check your brain for having died. Right? Gonna sell my brain as soup TM. Ayy. So yeah, I think you'll find my logic is foolproof, and by the end of this 4-hour video lecture, and yeah, so by the end of this Total Sapphic, I know how bulletproofing works. I'm aware of how bulletproofing works, and I didn't miss your message. I just don't need to read out I didn't miss your message. In fact, I'm fairly certain I read the pertinent half of it. And also, yeah, when you say add ceramic and nylon seal, you saying make it bulletproof. So yeah, I don't think that's a good idea. I think that will make it overly complicated, make it harder to access, make it weighty and less easy to use as an object. And also, you'd only be doing it for like brownie points. So if you want to do it just for the sake of it, there's no reason to. In the same reason, there were no reason not to. But womp womp. But I don't think. Whoa! Hazzy!
The affect of otters on the moon, making it more otterly mooning to look at. Submitted by Hazzy Slinker.
Oh, Hazzy, Hazzy, Hazzy! Come on!
Rejected. Insufficient library appended with application.
Okay, that's fine. That's fine. It's totally fine. That didn't work. We know. We are aware. We are 100% aware. We're 100% aware that it is working, and so the academics who review these things are just being harsh right now. Okay. So statistically, someone's got to get through soon. Yeah, obviously it ain't getting shot. I don't know why you need to nitpick that point if you weren't willing to discuss it. What you mean not willing to? What? I literally just did discuss it. Total. Am I going crazy here? I literally just said. I don't understand I literally just said I wouldn't go for bulletproofing it because it'll make it harder to use, heavier, bulkier, and harder to access the electronics inside, which you're going to be in and out of throughout the project and after the project's finished. However, and there's no use case for it being bulletproofed. While telling me you didn't want to. I literally was talking. What are you talking about? I literally talked about it. I literally talked about it. I went into detail about talking about it. What I'm saying is, Total Sapphic, what you don't need to do is describe the act of bulletproofing an object in great copy and pasted detail from WikiHow or Wikipedia or whatever into chat to convey the concept of bulletproofing. You literally just say, like, I'm thinking about bulletproofing it using silk and ceramics, which is what I was talking about, which is what I was reacting to. So don't like. So I don't see where you're getting the idea that I'm not talking about this. I'm not talking about it and telling you not to talk about it. I literally talked about it in detail about exactly why I don't think it's worth it. Need to cool off. I hope we're cooling. I'm so confused. I am very confused. It's probably the pun. No, it wasn't. How did I? I don't need to project. I'm confused, but you know what? 3's plate is pretty good at bulletproofing. See, do you say 3-inch steel plate? Oh damn it! I kind of hoped you didn't say steel plate, and you literally just said 3-inch plate. Because now I'm imagining one of those, ceremonial like ceramic plates with the queen on it, but it's 3 inches thick, and so you're just there eating your dinner off the queen's head when someone shoots you, and it's just like patang. Like, no, my Brussels sprouts! You've just got a 3-inch thick commemorative plate of the Queen. Oh my God, that is. Do they still make those like commemorative plates? Eating dinner off the Queen's head. I mean, look, there are weird people in the UK. There are people who liked the Queen in the UK, and I'll never understand it. I can kind of get people in other countries stanning the Queen because she's kind of this kooky window to the past of a of like this backwards country, this backwards island, this backwards island in Europe. However, I don't understand how anybody in the UK can back the Queen because just her existence sucks so much money out of our country when the monarchy themselves are massively independently wealthy, and yet we still subsidize them. So it bugs me. And also she apologized for a lot of war crimes or war criminals. She was quite a prolific war crime apologist. Yikes, 150 for the Queen's head plate. Okay, Tater, 2 questions. Is it... Okay, 1 question. No. Tater, is it $150 for a plate with the Queen's head on it? Or... No, okay, no. Is it $150 for a plate with a picture of the Queen's head on it? Or is it $150 for the Queen's physical head presented to you on a plate? Because if it's the latter, that's a bargain. That's a bargain. That's amazing. I would happily pay $150 to get the Queen's head, so I could like put it in a so I could put it on a pike outside of my house, just to act as a warning against any other monarchists. That'd be so cool! 150 trillion. Slushy Wolf, how you doing? Yeah, having the Queen heads on a pike might still be considered supporting the matriarchy. No. Very much no. I mean, if they're doing that good of a deal on the Queen's head, possibly I could get like a buy one get one free, or like buy second to get half price to get the King's head on a pike. Or would the King have to be dead for it to work? Oh, that's a shame. By the way, in case any MI5 or MI6 agents are listening, I'm talking about the King of Minecraft and the Queen of Minecraft. I'm not talking about the actual blessed monarch of the country of Great Britain. Do you think that covers it, guys? Do you think we're good? Not gonna lock! Police! Ah! I'm making pause for 6 hours and still not finished. Oh, yeah. Catrix, that doesn't surprise me. The first time I ever made pause, they were the pause for my. The first ever pause I ever made took me 8 hours. I did them in one sitting, and I hate them forever. I can now do pause. It now takes me like 6 hours to do pause from start to finish, and even then, quite often I won't, depending on how distracting you lot are. But yeah, so you're going to your first con this weekend. Ayy! Noisu! Hey, Spooky Cat! Whoop! Hey! want to like some head scratchies? Oh, look at the spooky cat. He's so cute. Actually, I wonder if I moved one of these,
Welcome, Daichi _Lu_.
Hey, Daichi. I wonder if I moved one of these cardboard scratchy things into the studio, would this give him like something to sit on in here, and he'd just like to just chill out in the background? That'd be quite cute. Anyway, hey, you were in the mood. I messaged you Discord, but just need to. Okay, I don't think you've ruined the mood. Don't worry. Anyway, right. So Daichi! Exclamation mark spooky. Yes. And out he goes, tiny agent of chaos. Oh no, tiny agent of darkness. Oh no, speaking of agent of darkness, so last night, I don't know why, last night I just could not sleep at all. Hey, welcome back to JSM. I just could not sleep at all. So I ended up I got up at I went to bed at like 10:30 because I'm a self-employed rock star of a I'm a rock star of a Twitch streamer. Therefore, I get to go to bed any time because I've got no commitments. So I went to bed at 10:30, which is I'll admit 10:30 is late for me to go to bed. I'm often in bed at 9:30 or 9 o'clock. However, so I go to bed there, and I get like 2 or 3 hours of sleep, and then my shiz comes to bed and wakes me up, and then I'm awake for a little while. I manage to get a little bit more sleep, and then at like sort of 2:30, 3 a.m., I'm just laying there, it's like, I just can't sleep, come on. So I get up for like 2 hours, and like just play some games on the computer, do some stuff on the computer, blah, blah, blah. Just rewind down. And then, so at 4:30 or 5 in the morning, I think, I then go back upstairs to go back to bed. And, oh yeah, it's 4:16 apparently I got back to sleep last night. But yeah, so I went back to bed, but on the way up, Spooky had placed himself perfectly on the top step of our stairs, and he's a black cat, and I didn't turn any lights on, so I kicked him in the face. He doesn't seem to realise he's a black cat at night. Welcome back, TGR. How you doing? He's a black cat at night. He just, I work night shift and go to bed at 5 to 6 a.m. You yeet the Spooky. So, did you get this fixed? I hope so. You kicked him in the face because he's black. Oi! Tater! No! No! Stop it! Stop it! Very much no! No! Let's... That was good. That was quick. That was very quick there, Tater. Well done. Anyway. So yeah, so Spooky became kicked in the head by my foot because he happens to have dark enough fur that that I couldn't see him without light. How long does the average to complete a piece? GSM, pieces are so very different, it's hard to give like an average. It depends what you're talking. Are you talking about a head? Are you talking about a full fursuit? Are you talking about pumpkin cat? Both appreciate this joke, like tasteful jokes that highlight racism and negativity. Yeah, no, I don't think it's. I mean, that's why I. So, if I thought it was inappropriate, I would either have deleted the message and explained why I thought the message wasn't appropriate, or I would have ignored it and moved on to the next subject without highlighting it. If that makes sense. However, I think it's a. That's why I was like clapping because I think it's a good. I think that's kind of. Because that's kind of like. I know it's not my place to say, but that feels like it's a joke. That feels like it's a joke about racism more than it is a racist joke itself. If that makes sense. In the same way, you can kind of. Because, like, if you look at who is telling the joke and who is like the victim of the joke and who is the that's my feeling. However, it's also as someone who is not a woman of color, who hasn't been the victim of like racist abuse and whatnot. I would actually say I think it is, and I'm willing to be educated otherwise. There we go. I think that's a good way of putting it. Very hard time deciding if I should send. I'm sure Tiffin knew the tone of my question. Yeah. I think. No. It was very much the correct tone. I guess. I guess there are situations in which. Okay. It's a sort of joke or comment or whatnot where there are environments and situations where it wouldn't be appropriate, or saying it to people who with whom you don't have an implied consent as to the fact that you're not actually accusing each other of being racist. You're not actually trying to bolster or approve racism and whatnot. I think so because we've got this implied consent that we're not, and joke and like. It's a joke at my expense about racism rather than a racist joke. So I think that's yeah, blah 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 blah. But yeah, black cats get all sorts of bad press. So apparently, so I've always thought that black cats like were adopted at a lower rate than other cats out of like shelters and such because of like intrinsic bigotry, but apparently that's like I read somewhere that it's actually not true that black cats get adopted less. Do you do commission work for other people? Yes. This is a commission, that's a commission, and this is a pre-made. This is like stock that I'm trying to sell to people. So yeah, I do a lot of commission work, and my background for my like artistic skills is from theatre advertising and film work. Hence why I'm able to do the like fairly advanced things, but also hence why I struggle with basic sewing. Like my quality of finish for like sewn objects is, I will happily admit, my quality of finish is low. Is Doom still here? Is Doom lurking, or has Doom had to go back to work? Okay, so why are you stuck? Usually she literally has a degree. Yeah, I literally so I went to university, but I learned most of what I know. I learned most of what I know on my own, and I got into university from what I learned, and then university taught me a lot more about how like industry works, if that makes sense, how things are done in actual industry, and I think that was the value of the university degree. But it also got me out of it kind of also got me out of, you know, my old day job, which is kind of valuable in and of itself. And the university I went to is easily one of the best model making institutions in the world. There we go. Got it. Anyway, yeah. You can say, oh yeah. But most artists are their own worst critics. Yeah, I mean, yeah, but I'd say your quality finish is average, not low. High, medium. Also, adverts! Oh, my shoulders. Oh, my shoulders. Jeez. Oh, God, they are. My shoulders are painful. Because we were doing deadlifts at the gym today, and the fact that my shoulders are sore rather than my lower back means I was doing it right. But then we also did a bunch of dumbbell clean and jerks, and barbell and like dual barbell thrusters. No, not dual barbell lunges, which sucked. That was very heavy. Anyway, yeah. So Jess, I got back tonight. Tiff is going to be the hottest orc with an axe if she keeps it up. Yeah, that's what I'm hoping. That's what I'm hoping. Little Fox, hey! Little Fox Tarot, welcome to the show. It's so nice to be hanging with thee. I love that you're here. Let's all get a heckin' cheer for Little Fox Tarot, who came in so dear. Welcome! How you doing, Little Fox Tarot? Tarot, Eurobeat. Wow. What would be I, my little Fox Tarot. You're not fine today. Oh no. Oh, I'm so sorry. Anyway, what was that? That's German says when I search tiffin, it's first place. Tiffin is an Indian lunch. The tiffin box in the multi-part container for warm meals known in German. Yes, Ginkaze, that's the Indian term for tiffin. In the UK, so that's why I always say if people ask what tiffin is, that's why I say Google chocolate tiffin or hazelnut tiffin rather than just tiffin, because tiffin refers to like a pre-prepared meal, a style of meal in India. And you know what? I think I am, as much as I like to think I'm quite a sweet snack, I am definitely a full meal. Right? Tiffin is there a way to see how many people contributed to the new extruder? No, but I can tell you it's one. I don't think there is. I mean, you can see how much has been contributed, but you can't tell how many people have contributed. At least I don't think you can from your end, or actually no, you can. It would be I think you look at under gifters. Actually no, it doesn't say, does it? Yeah. If we go to if we go to here, yeah. So gifters, it doesn't say. Because because it's definitely happened before, like after that and before that. Then we go to wish list, but if you go to the wish list, you can see that it's been part funded. Let's see, part funded. Will it actually say? I mean, that might be the initial of the person who contributed. Maybe if multiple people contribute, it will have different like labels there. You know what? Let's test it out, shall we? Let's test it out. See if see what happens if we. So, I currently have thrown balance. So I'm not actually spending any money. This is just putting money that has been put into Throne by the people. Okay, let's see if this works. Let's see, so what does it show?
Thank you.
Testing. Tilde sent via throne.me.
Ah, there we go. Yeah, so, Tata, there is a way of telling. If we have a look now, you can see there's a P for the person who, I think it was project, I think it might have actually been project, and then there's a little icon of me. So you can see 2 people have contributed. 2 people have contributed, so there you go. Anyway, Little Fox, I got slapped by somebody I trusted, my glasses fell on the ground. Oh no! I guess I would say, like, if that is some flavour of assault, I don't know if you're school-aged and therefore you should talk to, like, your parents or the, or teachers, or if you're adult business age, in which case mayhaps you should, if this is it your Twitch profile picture? Yes, it is. My Twitch profile picture is the same as my, on the website, yes. My Twitch profile picture is the same as my Throne profile, so. Although I think my Twitter is different. Actually, I might update Twitter to have the VR headset image that I made because I like it. Does it even have a breakdown of just school age? Does it even break down demographics? No, I'm just saying because if you're a because we get a lot of people who are like in secondary school, in high school, in which case if you are slapped by somebody in that like setting, you should go talk to some of the like teachers or whatnot, or your parents, so they can bring it up. Or if you're like work age or adult age, you should, if this is a sign of, if this is a thing of, if this is a representation, this is an example of a series of abuses, you should contact the actual authorities, like police and whatnot, and get a record of the assault. Or if it was like in a workplace or such, you should like talk to, you should talk to the actual, like, you should talk to the place you work at and blah 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 blah. You know, so this, like, if this is something that caused you pain and suffering and is something you feel is like may happen again, then what you should do is make sure it is on record. Make sure it is on record as this is an example of abuse, and you should not. Nobody should be subject to abuse. He actually would never hurt me. You literally just said he hurt you. It was actually a friend, and then my bad memories came back and my childhood trauma. You literally just said they hurt you, right? Wait, you have Cadbury's Roses? Yes, because Cadbury Roses have the purple ones, and they're so good! Wait, no, Quality Streets... No, they both have purple ones. They both have purple ones, and Cadbury's chocolate is better than Quality Street Nestle chocolate. So yeah, anyway. By a long way. So GSM, why are you asking about the profile picture? Or are you asking, yeah, the little tiny icon is, yeah, that is the same as my Twitch icon. That is true. Yeah. So yeah. However, I'm very happy with. I'm very happy with this art. I did this art this morning to promote our VR stream on Saturday. So we're gonna be streaming VR on Saturday. So and you know what? You are all invited, and you don't need VR to join. You just need VR chat. And you know what? VR chat is free. So even if you're a desktop user, you can come join us, and I'll be in VR. I'll be in VR, and you can come join us in whatever mood you are. Wait, you're gonna stream a VR chat? Yes. When's VR stream? I got full body. Yeah, I got the software. Yeah, it's same time as normal on Saturday. In fact, actually, you know what? Oh, wait. I know what I can do about this. One sec. Share. Copy. Okay. You know what? Full body Vive. Yes, I have a HTC Vive, and I've got the Vive trackers. Actually, I've got 2 Vive trackers and 1 Vive controller that I've reflashed to be a tracker. Actually, yeah. So we go add community. Actually, we'll just type exclamation on VR. Text. There we go. Text response. Our next VR chat community day can be found here. Okay. And then we go save, and we go play. Here we go. So that is a link to the event information. That's a link to the event information. In fact, actually, I'm just gonna edit event. I'm just gonna somewhere else. It is VR chat. Join off OtterlyTiffin or mods. There we go. Okay. There we go. Okay. Cool! Have you been suggested yet again? Waffle! I've been pretty good, thank you. I got a new 1 rep max at the gym this morning, which was pretty good. And I once again pushed myself hard enough that my tongue felt dizzy. That's kind of cool. I got the Oculus Quest 2, but I never use it. I probably should boot it up and so scan update. Yes. As I have put in the event information, make sure your software's up to date. Send your friend request then. Yes. My information on VR chat is the same as my information everywhere else. It is OtterlyTiffin. Just send me a friend request, and the next time I log in, I'll accept all of the friend requests, and you guys can, when the event starts, I will set myself to basically anybody can join me. So you'll be able to just join the world on me, and then you lot can suggest worlds for us to visit and whatnot. The worlds I would very much like to visit are multiplayer game worlds for us. Because if we can get like 10 of us together, we can do some very fun multiplayer games, right? Like go to the I don't know if the Among Us world has been updated since the official Among Us VR is out, but that's a good fun game. The murder games are pretty good. But I'm assuming, but it's been over a year since I played VR Chat, and I'm assuming there's some cool I'm assuming there's some good worlds out there now that I haven't seen. Cool. I sent you a friend request, right? Yes. And you know what? You might actually catch me trying, basically testing my setup during the week, and I'm more than happy to go and be social. How does VR Chat work? JSM, do you know, did you ever play Second Life? Because it's basically, it's essentially Second Life, but with, but native to VR. However, you can also use desktop to play it. So it's called VR Chat, but you can just play it in 2D on a desktop, in the same way that you can play Second Life in VR, but you can also play it on desktop. So yeah, you don't need VR to play. VR isn't required, yes. Actually, you know what? Give me a sec. I'm just gonna edit this. Edit event, and I'm just gonna quickly put in the event info. Note: a VR setup is not necessary for VR. Not necessary to play VR Chat. Just to make it super clear. And apparently I can't spell necessary, so let's take an S out. Nope. Let's take a C out. Nope. Let's put an S back in. Okay, it's not underlined yet. To play VR Chat. Yeah, okay. VR Chat on PC. There we go. Okay, there we go. There we go. Good. Okay. I'm hoping. So necessary. So I need to remember how to spell necessary by thinking of, oh, you spell necessary as necessary. Or there we go. It's necessary to have a Neko play. Shut up. Anyway, yes. My parents don't want me to be in the furry fandom because bad social media and hate. Catherix, your parents are misinformed about the nature of the furry fandom, so I would suggest showing them some Picari-Roo videos as like introductions to what the furry fandom is and how friendly and supportive and creative and safe the fandom is. I would actually say the furry fandom is one of the better fandoms at safeguarding its members against negative online influences. Does that make sense? So I will tell you actually, even like the slightest, even in our small community, the slightest thing that comes up as being slightly amiss gets brought up in our admin chat, like really quickly, by people who by administrators by admins and mods who I never see in stream, but they keep an eye out. They take responsibility for keeping an eye out and keep an eye out on things and such and people engaging in negative behavior in the fandom get called out and isolated pretty quickly, and there's a lot of social infrastructure for keeping people safe and such, and especially like myself, I'm aware as a streamer, as a content creator, as a content creating as a what would it be? As a as the host of a community, I think would be a good way of putting it. As I'm aware of, I'm also aware of my safeguarding responsibilities, and I've actually in the past I have received safeguarding training because I have in the past worked in like education, and you receive safeguarding training there. So I have definitely put that to mind. And in fact, I've genuinely thought about getting a DBS check so that I can actually have, I can actually officially sit here and go, look, I have been officially vetted by the UK police to show you that I am a safe person to be around for sort of kids. However, I'm also wondering if that is more to have one of those is more suspect than not. But I have had DBS checks and CRB checks in the past for working at universities and colleges, so... But they're probably out of date by now. Anyway. But yeah, oh, I've just seen it's free to play on Steam, so I might get it. Yes! Yeah, just make sure you got it installed ahead of time, I guess. But yeah, the I think the important part of the important thing about the furry fandom is it is a diverse, supportive, and creative community, and the whole point is. Okay, right. Yeah. So I think the actual I think the most important thing about the furry fandom is the level of creativity and genuine support for the people in it that it like garners and it like nurtures and encourages. You know, I think that's the important bit. They say furries are cringe. Yeah. Try find a community that isn't cringe. Furries are cringe. We know. What of it? Have you seen the anime fans and cosplayers? Oh, they're cringe as well, but they don't. They're cringe as well, but they don't admit it. That's the biggest difference. I think the Catherix, the most important thing to convey to people who are misinformed about the furry fandom is to sort of make sure they're aware of the fact that the furry fandom is a hobby space and not an identity. You know, I think that's the biggest point there. Like, being a furry is the same thing as being a stamp collector. It is a title it is a title used as shorthand for a hobby you engage in, and being a furry is not. Being a furry is like saying I'm a stamp collector, not like saying I'm a queer woman. It's not an identity. It's an act you engage in. Like, to say I'm a furry implies you're an active member of the furry fandom. It doesn't imply anything about you or your identity. And one of the things that furry haters get mixed up is the idea of people presenting on the internet as their persona, presenting as an idealized anthropomorphic version of themselves or a personality trait. They get that mixed up with the idea of identifying as a fictional creature, as those are two very different things. So yeah, I think that's important, and I think it's important to sort of, and I know it sucks to have to be the person who is the victim here, having to educate your parents in that way, but that's literally the long and the short of it is they're misinformed of what the fandom is, just straight up. So yeah, that's what it comes down to. And however, one of the things I've also thought about in the past is so the furry fandom has a very high percentage of queer individuals, of gay, lesbian, trans, bi, ace, whatever individuals in it. And I think, I'm of the opinion that's because the furry fandom has the social infrastructure for exploring your identity. And because so many people explore different identities, there's no prejudice to trying on different identities and exploring your gender identity, your sexual identity and such. So unlike a lot of fandoms, unlike a lot of groups, there's no prejudice to that, and people come to the fandom to try out different aspects of themselves, and there is there's social infrastructure in the fandom to try different things about yourself. And yes, the furry fandom is very queer because of that. There's a lot of queer people. There's a lot of gay people. There's a lot of queer people in the furry fandom, and it is very simple to look at that. It's very simple to look at that. And think, oh, that means there's something queer about the furry fandom itself. However, I think a better way to look at it I think a better way of looking at it and thinking about it is not, oh, the furry fandom has a lot of queer people in it. No, it's every other fandom doesn't accept queer people enough that they all go to the furry fandom. So the fact that people look at the furry fandom and go, oh wow, there's a lot of gay people in the furry fandom, or there's a lot of trans people in the furry fandom, is a reflection upon every other hobby more than it is a reflection on the furry fandom. Because the furry fandom supports and nurtures and helps people with these things, whereas these other fandoms are hostile towards people like this. Hence why they're so underrepresented in other fandoms. And I think that's an important thing to, I think that's an important way to look at it and to reframe how detractors of the fandom will try and use that as an argument against the furry fandom. But yeah, well, furry just means you like anthro characters from a game, movie, or others. Yeah. Yeah, TG, that is entirely correct. It doesn't say anything about your identity, and it is a thing you do rather than who you are. And it's important to I think it's genuinely important to understand the difference between identity and activity, or identity and action. Anyway, Zerizo, welcome! How are you doing? Also, peeps, adverts are going to hit in a minute. Adverts are going to hit in like a minute or so. Also, Takirosh! Takirosh has come joined us. Welcome to our stream. Takirosh is, of course, a welcome part of our stream. It's time to welcome the Zerizio. It's time to welcome the Zerizio. oh. They joined us in voice chat a little while ago. Maybe they'll also come to show. They'll come to show us avatars in VR chat. Wouldn't that be super cool and all that? Thank you, Zerizo, for coming to be part of our cool, awesome show. Huh? What's up? I'm sorry, Zerizo, do you not want to welcome? I can not welcome you to the stream if you want. Uh-oh. Should I not have welcomed you to the stream? Oh no! I thought that was a new follower thing. It's a everything thing, Zerizo. I'm trying to also remember to do it for resubscribers, but also it's just like one of those things where it takes a lot of mental energy to remember to do it and whatnot. However, I also don't want to limit myself. Every now and then I just want to sing, you know, I'm very jubilish, so I have to go. See you later, Catherix. But also, so Catherix, I will also say at Catherix, if you ever want to, actually, Catherix is probably in adverts right now, but yeah, Catherix, if you ever want to bring